All right. So remember I gave you guys architectural drawing, and you were asking me doors, windows, how to bring those things. So you can actually bring them out. Let's start bringing them out now. So if you want to bring those library, I said AutoCAD has inbuilt library from which you can start with. So you don't actually need to what? Yeah. You don't actually have to create those things. You can just bring them out and use. So how we do that is if you go to your inserts, if you go to your inserts, is it even insert or view self? I don't think it's insert, it's under view. If you go to your view here, you have what we call your tool palette. And I'm going through this because of you. So if you go to your view tab, you have what we call the tool palette. The shortcut is TP. So if I click on the tool palette, it's going to load this palette. It's going to load this palette. Then this palette you can so you can bring up different things. So let's look at the category and that you have here. So you notice you have your modeling, you have your constraints, you have your annotation. So you can actually circle between these. Moving from here to here, you are seeing the libraries they have. If you go to the architectural palette or the architectural tab, what is that? Eh? So look at under architecture. Architecture, I see you have your door. For the architecture, you notice you have the imperial sample, and if you go down, you have the metric sample. Both of them have the same thing. What you have in the imperial sample is also what you have in the metric sample. It's just that different standard. So if you are working in American standard feet and inch, you want to bring from the imperial sample. If you are working in metric standard, yeah, both of them. Imperial is at top, metric. Yours will also has to bring it. Mr. Falabi, it's yours. All right, so I can actually bring them out by dragging them into the scene. All right, so for instance, if I want to use the door, so I can drag the door. Please, I need us to look at this. Mr. Falabi, we are just smiling. Mr. Falabi is just smiling. So I can just drag this door here and you can see the door. It's the door. And this because this is plan view. And I can there are sizes there. Let me show you. So you can use this. You notice this door has some hot grips. Sorry. We just started now. So these hot grips, you can use it to manipulate the objects. So the first one, which is this one, you use it to move the object to anywhere you want. So if I turn off my auto, so I can use it to move my object in place. All right. Then the other one here allows me to set the width. The size of the door. So there is pre-made size for us. If I click on this place, you notice I can come to this smaller size, go up and click. So I can use this to change the size. Okay. Then I also have option to flip this door vertical. So if I click on this flip, it opens the door inwards and outward. Then I can also flip it sideways. Then this allows me to confine the door to a particular wall thickness. So there are some thickness, there are some walls that are very thin. You understand? So you can use this to maybe you want it to be on this. So you have this option. Okay. Then if you notice this last icon here that looks like this again, what's that? Okay. I can click here. So Esther was asking that how is this a door? So it's because of the opening angle. The opening angle, that's why I have that. So if I click on this, it's because it's opening 30 degrees. If I make it 90 degrees, I think you're familiar with this. So this is what you just click on this guy. You can choose whatever angle of opening you want. Some likes 45, some like 90, and you can even make the door closed. Okay. So this just giving you different types of um, representation of that door. So this is just for door, and different objects you pick will have different menu to choose from. Okay, so this is for door. So if I bring my window and drag this window out, you notice the window. You also have, so for the window, you notice you don't have much. You only have option to move the window. You have option to move the window, to change the size of the window, and also to flip the window. Those are the only options you have. So you don't have option to choose different types of, unlike you have for this door. So if I go to elevation view, these are for floor plan. If I go to elevation view and drag elevation window, you notice. So that means if you are drawing an elevation view, you want to bring the elevation type of window. Then you can select this. And she said she's cool. It's Mr. Folabi that wants to kill us. No idea. She's always cool since we started this class. From day one. Yeah, that was. She can't go to Canada. Maybe she go to South Africa. Yeah. Okay. So the thing for this door is it comes with preset size. If you click here, it comes with, you can see all those lines. They are the preset size we have. So it was created for those preset size. So what you can do in your own case is to just to try to check the dimension. So if I bring it to the smallest door, I can bring my dimension linear to check what is this dimension. Oh God. So this is 100. So you will see 900 there. You get, so this one, this will be 700. So if we, is it saying the, really? Let me see. I've not, I didn't notice that though. It's not, it's just giving me the normal length from where I clicked from. That's what's going on. I think this is 900. So let's check it from here. So we know that the smallest one is the 600. So this is 800. So that means that one was, this is 600, maybe 700, 750, 800. So I think this is 900. Do you get? So you can just check that. So you know that this is the size for the 900 you can use. So the same thing for the window. You can move the window. You can change the height of the window, and you can change the width of the window. Okay. All right. So you have your toilet also. So if you are doing your funny, your what's it called, toilet design, so you have this. So if you select this toilet, so I don't need talking about this. You know what this do. So if I click on this option, I can notice this is the front view. I can go to the plan view of this type of toilet. I can go to, so that means this particular type of toilet can be used for plan, front, and side, and also gives you another functionality to choose a different type of toilet. So this is one type of toilet. If I go to the side of the round toilet, you notice it's quite different from the first one. If I go to this and I go to the round the side of the pool chain toilet is a different type of toilet. So it gives you three different types of toilets with three different views: plan, front, and side. Then the same thing with your vegetation, your trees, you can bring in your cars, your doors, elevation. But the thing with two palettes is that two palettes is doesn't have too much of it doesn't have so much. It doesn't have so much. It's just the normal thing that we have, the basic things. But if you need more things, like for instance, you want to do a kitchen design and you're looking for all this range, all these things, you can't get them with this. So we're going to look at how to go into the library and get more things. Then that's for the architecture. You can go to the mechanical. We are not in mechanical, so I'll just skip mechanical. So we'll go to electrical also. You can also bring in electrical. You can see push button, so you're familiar with this. So push button. So the thing with the electrical that is quite different from the architectural design is that you notice that when I drop models from architecture, they just come in and drop. Fine. Nothing more. But if I go to mechanical, I drop anything from mechanical, drops just like that. But if I come to electrical and drop anything from electrical, yeah, it will bring up, you have entered this place before now. It will bring up this dialog box and it brings up what we call the edit attributes. So the reason why this is because all the components or all the components created for electrical, they were created using attribute block. They added attributes to them before creating them. So attributes are all those things. So you can change the attributes of these components. But for the other ones, they were just dynamic blocks. So we're going to be looking at blocks. We look at dynamic block, attribute block, how we can create those things. So dynamic block is what is making us have the ability to change from different states. Right? All those states, ability for us to change these different states is dynamic block. Then ability for us to add attributes to whatever object we bring in is attributed block. So, but we are going to look at a way of creating both dynamic and attributed block together. So we'll be able to change different states at the same time add attributes to it. Okay, but that's not today. So don't worry, it's not today. So we have for civil, we can bring all this stuff for civil. We can bring in our road intersection. So you can actually use this to build road system. Your area can just build. So if I select this now, for instance, I can say, okay, so you can see we have the forward and the backward lane. So if I can say for the forward lane, maybe I want to, instead of me having two lanes, I can say I want to have one lane. You know this road that both forward and backward, they don't have any partition. Continue, parallel, just keep going, no one way. But I can also decide to say I want to make it 4 lanes. So the forward lane has 2 lanes, the backward lane has 2 lanes. You understand this design? So then I can change the width from here of those lanes. So if I know the width, I can just use this. Then the same thing, I can also bring in my road intersection, which is so this is the road section. Sorry, the first one was the road section. The road intersection is where you have all your roundabouts. So you can also bring this and connect. So you have more like your roundabout. You can select this guy. You notice what we can change here is just can change the width. Have that. And then what else? You can change this positioning of this guy. So then you have your manhole, you have your speed limit. So all these things are there for us too. For the structural, so you also have this where you can bring in symbols, your elevation symbols, your all these. I don't know what next to even say. So that's it for two palettes. So it's kind of two palettes is has just few tools for us to work with. But if we want more tools, then we have to now go to bring in another tool that shows us concept library, like detailed library of tools that we can use. I'm looking for the words we use. It's not coming. But then, for us to show that, we can find that here, still in our view tab, and it's called Design Center. So both Design Center and two palettes, they do the same thing. They house libraries for tools that AutoCAD has. You understand? But the difference is just that for two palettes, it just brings a few of the things from the library for us to easily bring them. But for Design Center, you will have them categorized. So you can go into the different categories and start bringing them out. If you notice for two palettes, you just put them as discipline, mechanical, electrical, architecture. But for the design center, inside each of those disciplines, you can now have if it is kitchen utensils, if it is office stuff. You understand? So how we do that is for us to bring it, you can either use the short for DC, Design Center, or you can come to this View tab, the same place where you brought these two palettes. If you come to the right hand side, this is the icon. You don't see the name, but if you bring your mouse, you are going to see Design Center. So if I click on the Design Center, it's going to load up this dialog box, this wide one. And please, for God's sake, don't change don't change this place because it's kind of hard to find. But it's going to default you here. It's going to default you in your sample. Try and open the Design Center so that you can be on the same page. Design Center, let's see. It should default you here. So this is what it is in your sample. Right? That's what it's going to bring. So for you to navigate into that place where you can bring those stuff, I want to go into the ENUS. Are you with me? So I will go into I'll click on the ENUS. I'll double click it. If I double click, it opens the new page. You have Design Center and Dynamic Block. So what we need there is the Design Center. So I'll click on the Design Center. It loads this category. So now these are the categories we have. We have analog integrated, we have AutoCAD, we have basic electronics. Can you see you have electrical power, you have fastening metric, we have home space planning, we have home designer, HVAC heating, hydraulic, kitchen, landscaping, piping, plants, welding. So all those things are just categories. So if what I want to do now, for instance, I want to do kitchen design, I'll just go to the kitchen section, for instance. So if I double click the kitchen section, it's going to load me into this place. Are you with me? So what I need here is just the block. Don't get confused with all this stuff. What I need in this page is just the block. So if I click on the block, it's going to give me all the kitchen things that it has. So I can pick any of them and drag it. So if you look at this now, I have my microwave. I can drag this microwave out and place the microwave somewhere here. See that? I can also drag the kitchen layout. So I actually have a kitchen layout that I can use. So if I want to start from using this layout, I can just drag this kitchen layout. And I have a kitchen layout. I have a cabinet section and another. So this is more of a gangway. Right? Gangway, like way to pass. This is the tile, for instance. So do you understand? So you can see you have sync single, you have all these things you can use. So if you want to go back, you can just click on this back. It's faster. You can see, yeah. So you can go to back, go to another category. So for instance, let's assume I want to go to my basic electronics. That's where you can start. I give you assignments to do the electrical this thing. Not show me. No problem. So if you come to the basic electronics, and go to the blocks, you notice we have all the icons. So you actually don't need to create them. So you can actually bring all these things, your capacitor, your diode, resistor, all these transistors, you can bring them and use. Just drag your battery cell. Have that. Right? So another way you can also load this is by double clicking on them. So if I double click, it's going to load this dialog box. So now the difference between dragging here and double clicking is double clicking will allow you to rotate if you want to rotate, scale if you want to scale. So if I feel that this scale is too small, I want to scale it times 10 of this size. I can say, okay, scale this 10, and I want to rotate it 90 degrees. I can just say rotate 90 degrees. And once I'm done, I click OK. It's going to bring this at that scale of 10 and rotate it instead of it bringing it horizontal, vertical. So that's what the double clicking does. You can just say for the all these things. So I can say transformer. Yeah? It's not looking like no. It won't have everything now. So you have to create some, which is why like block is there. There are some things that AutoCAD will not. You can create your own here. Not adding here, you can add it into your own folder and you can use it later. Okay. So that's design center. So you can always bring more. So double click, bring this times 10, and this is it. So we have that. Okay. So once you are done, so let me just take this back to the default, which is the sample. And we're back here and I can close. So now, if we have exercises, you should know where to bring those things. All right, so the next thing we have in line is meant to be this block now. So block, I hope I'll be able to do this. Okay, so I have 3 minutes more. I think this block I will have to leave this block for today. So continue this one. I don't do something. I want to I don't want to move. But the room is giving us side. The kitchen is giving us area. How do you take the room side? This kitchen is area. It's okay. Side. You can just use your hand. This is going for elevation. So I think I will stop this class here. And then I'll continue to hell on Wednesday. But before we go, we have 1 hour to do. Let's leave at 1.